In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 4 different fashion trends slash aesthetics that are going to be popular this spring slash summer. It's really important to stay on top of current trends as a fashion reseller so that you will know exactly what you should be picking up at the thrift store to stock in your Poshmark closet slash eBay store. Now, originally I was going to make a video talking about all the different trends, but to be frank, there are just far too many and they're constantly changing. Trends could change just like that. If an influencer or a celebrity is seen wearing something groundbreaking and is photographed in it, it could be the new fashion trend in a matter of hours. So do keep that in mind while you are watching this video. Something that I mentioned in this video may not be relevant a few months from now or even a few weeks from now. So you can stay on top of trends yourself by following different fashion bloggers, looking up fashion trends on Pinterest slash Instagram, and following other influencers on YouTube or on Instagram as well. The 4 trends slash aesthetics that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today are going to be Y2K, academia, cottage core, and lastly, dopamine dressing. You're going to see a lot of overlap amongst these 4 categories. However, I think it's important to give each one their moment to shine because while they do have a lot of similarities, there are also a few key differences that you should keep in mind. And also within these 4 categories, there are even more subcategories inside. I will share as much as I can about these different trends, but as I said earlier, fashion is always evolving and changing. So make sure that you guys are also doing your own research to stay on top of what is currently popular. So we're going to start with Y2K. I feel like this is the most well-known genre right now. As somebody who is a zillennial, somebody who is right on the cusp of Gen Z and being a millennial, it's exciting for me, but also I get why people are kind of against it. But I think one of the main reasons why like Y2K fashion and just Y2K aesthetic in general is becoming more popular is because for people like myself who maybe couldn't dress the way that we wanted to or buy the things that we wanted to when we were young, well, we now have the money to do that and we don't have to ask permission to buy the things that we want or dress the way that we want. So we're starting to lean into our childhood a little bit more and buying all the things that we always dreamed of having. Anyway, Y2K is a very easy style to thrift because some of the fast fashion and some of the designers are recreating 90s slash early 2000s style clothing, but all the things that we were originally buying when we were little or when we were younger, when we were a teenager, it's all still out there and waiting to be thrifted. One of the styles that you should keep your eye out for while you're thrifting is skirts. And I know that this is kind of debatable. I'm somebody who stays away from the skirt section because skirts overall just don't really do that well for me. However, they are becoming more popular and you'll even see that with some of the other categories that I'm going to be sharing with you today. But in terms of Y2K, you're going to want to look out for mini skirts, low-rise skirts, anything that you would have seen like the Spice Girls wearing, anything that is kind of flashy. Mini skirts paired with like a baby girl with like a baby tee or even like a cropped little cardigan, anything like that is definitely on trend. Also keep your eye out for like tennis skirts. Those I've been seeing a lot of lately. On the other end of the spectrum, not just mini skirts, but even like maxi skirts slash midi skirts that have a low rise on them. Definitely not something that we would have been wearing like 2 years ago, but they are becoming more popular now, especially in spring and summer. I actually just styled something similar to this on one of my reels recently, and it got a lot of good feedback on it, which is crazy. But yeah, keep your eye out for those kind of like boho-y tiered maxi skirts that you can wear just on your hip. Other things to look out for with that 90s slash early 2000s aesthetic would be butterflies. I put this in a Reels video of mine talking about keywords, but literally anything with butterflies is going to be pretty popular, whether it's those like sequin butterfly tops that have like the tie back on them, butterfly clips, Or I actually just got this jacket in from a consignment client, and it's like this really pretty silk bomber jacket with butterflies on it. Honestly, anything with butterflies on it, just try it out, see how it will do. I highly recommend trying to sell Y2K styles on Depop as well if you are interested. If you aren't selling on that platform and have been curious about trying it out, try Y2K. I'm sure it'll do really well on there because there are a lot of Gen Zers on there who are looking for that style. Some other Y2K styles to keep in mind are crochet. Also, when it comes to shoes, platforms all day long. There are those Steve Madden like black slides that have been super popular. I know that they're not for everybody, but believe me when I tell you that there are people looking for authentic vintage 90s platforms. They don't want to just like buy some remade ones from Forever 21 or Shein or wherever. They want like real vintage. So if you guys can find those out while you're sourcing, definitely pick them up. Moving on to the next genre, we're going to talk a little bit about academia. So academia refers to a style that is based off of learning. When I think of academia, I think of like a Harry Potter library or like a very vintage style bookstore. I don't even know if that makes sense, but when it comes to academia, it can be separated into light academia versus dark academia. Light academia is more pastels, light neutrals, think more like spring and summer vibes, while dark academia, it has the same vibe to it, but more moody, darker tones, and a little bit more masculine in my opinion. Academia can also be described as vintage slash nostalgic vibes. A lot of the fabric that you see is going to be like cashmere, linen, corduroy, cotton, even some satin. You're going to want to look out for cable knit sweaters slash cardigans, flowy dresses and pleated skirts for light academia. Plaid pants are also very popular in the academia genre. And when it comes to shoes, you're looking at more like loafers, Mary Jane slash Oxfords. So think of like all the different styles of Doc Martens, right? So the third trend that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is cottage core. I feel like cottage core got popular a couple years ago and more people are becoming aware of what it is. But with that, it's also branched out into a couple other different kinds of cores that I think are still pretty similar. And that's going to be fairy core and granny core. I know a lot of people have made fun of these words because they don't really understand what's going on. But essentially, granny core is wearing what your grandma would wear or anything that has like granny vibe, whether it's like crochet or like lace, while fairy core is more like ethereal and light and airy and springy. All of these genres, this whole kind of like world is going to be very popular, especially in spring right now. When I think of any of these categories, all I think about is like, what would I wear on a picnic in a meadow? That's essentially what I imagine cottage core is. Here again is where you're going to see a lot of overlap with light academia, a lot of flowy dresses, cozy knit sweaters slash cardigans, but also like a lot of florals, puffy sleeves. When you're looking for cottage core, think of more like romantic silhouettes and like really girly feminine styles. I think another trend that kind of relates to cottage core would be like Bridgerton. If you guys have watched that series, that whole like very romantic English style is also pretty popular since the show just came out. But yeah, keep those in mind when you are shopping for cottage core items. And the last trend I'm sharing with you guys today is dopamine dressing. This is probably my favorite one that I'm going to be sharing with you today. It's so bright and happy and exciting, and so it just like makes you feel good, which is exactly what dopamine dressing is intended to do. Dopamine dressing is dressing with the intent of boosting your mood or essentially wearing whatever makes you happy. So you'll see a lot of color clashing, a lot of mixing colors, patterns, and textures to just kind of give off a happy feeling. Different colors have different meanings. For example, green can be soothing, while blue is more peaceful. Yellow can be energetic, and red can be stimulating. And that's why people wear certain colors to kind of give off of those emotions. Now, different colors can have different meanings to you. So if you think that purple is more soothing than say blue, like this article I read said, then by all means do whatever makes you happy. Dopamine dressing is essentially wearing whatever the fuck you want. And I think that's why I like it so much. It kind of brings out that inner child in us. It's so playful and fun. And when you think of spring, you think of colors. So dopamine dressing is definitely a very fitting style for spring/summer. Some of the different trends within dopamine dressing that you might want to keep your eye out for while you're sourcing is going to be bold colors, checkerboard print, specifically colored checkerboard print is really popular right now. Also, chunky colored knit. Knit is something that I think I've mentioned in every single category. Even though it is warming up, you still want a cute, cozy knit sweater. So definitely keep your eye out for those more bright, eclectic patterns. And then another trend within dopamine dressing that I feel like can be applied to like Y2K and some other trends is the shimmery disco print fabric. So anything that's super shiny and like metallic-y, that like 70s retro roller rink vibe, that's what I'm talking about. So this can be found in pants, in dresses, in shoes, in accessories. Honestly, it's just, if it's fun, do it. I've also seen a lot of resellers say that sequins is selling really well for them right now, and that's right up the alley of dopamine dressing. Anything that is bright and fun and reminds you of a party or just makes you happy, it's gonna fit right in there. So make sure you guys are using these keywords while you guys are making your Poshmark listings, and also keep your eye out for these different styles/trends while you're outsourcing. Again, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know down below if you want to see more videos like this. As you guys know, I've had a lot on my plate lately and I've kind of put YouTube on the back burner. Haven't been super motivated or inspired to make videos on here, but this video actually got me a little bit hyped up. So I'm really excited about it, and I would be more than happy to make more videos like this if you guys want to see more. So definitely let me know, and I will catch you guys next week for another video. Bye!